Welcome everyone. Good afternoon here in the Golf Race Fuels Racing Zone presented by Stone Ridge Specialty Insurance at the Motorama Custom Car and Motorsports Expo. We're also streaming live on TrackTune. I'm joined now by Jarrett Spriet, the General Manager of St. Thomas Dragway, as we learn more here about some of our exhibitors. So a cool thing that you just mentioned to me right before we came on is that there's IHRA sanctioning now at the track this year. That sounds like a big deal.
It is a big deal. I mean, it is and it isn't. IHRA has always been great for us as a partner. I say it is and it isn't because really in the grand scheme of things, we're working with the same people that we were working with at WDRA, which is why it made it such an easy transition over back to where we were before. We're still working with the same guys, except the program just got better because we got bigger. If that makes any sense. Sure. $300,000 went into the sportsman pool this year. It's like unheard of. And we get to send people from our track who have won our point series to go and compete with that down in Memphis.
5 major events on the schedule this year for St. Thomas. What should people know about those events?
The first one, and it's near and dear to my heart this year, it's kind of my idea and something I'm thinking, is our Summer Sizzler. That'll be July 3rd to 5th. That is our biggest race of the year. It should be $5,000 to win on Friday, $10,000 to win on Saturday, $5,000 to win on Sunday. We'll be paying out over $35,000, probably $40,000 that weekend. Junior Dragster has the biggest payout in the province at $1,500 to win with free entry on Saturday. That's like unheard of. Another big one we've got coming up, we've got our Mudbog Jamboree on May 2-4 weekend. That's on our off-road park. That's a great one as well. There's a lot of stuff that you don't really kind of see at a drag strip. There's not many of that mudbog stuff coming on. If you don't know what mudbogging is, I get 100 to 200 of guys with the big tires that pay to get stuck in the mud and just have a great time getting dirty with friends, making memories. Another big one for us every year is the Big Rig Truck Nationals. The Big Rig Truck Nationals, again, another specialty event. We get roughly 300 of the big rig trucks that'll show up. It's the biggest show and shine and drag race for trucks in the country. So we do drag racing on the drag strip. We have a show and shine. Last year we had a concert on the drag strip afterwards. It's a big party with some big boy toys. Those are probably 3 of the big ones. Turkey Nationals is our last event of the year. It's a huge event for us. Again, a racer event. People throughout the province will show up for that one. The cool part about it is, like we said, it's on Thanksgiving weekend. That's what we call it, the Turkey Nationals. And we give every racer that shows up to that race, we give them a free turkey dinner. Kind of a way to say thank you and give back. And then a show aspect for us this year is Joe Da Silva always puts on a great show at the Da Silva Shootout. That's in September. And he has the Hellfire jet truck coming. So that if you've never seen Russ and that Hellfire jet truck, it's one of those things that you really need to experience. You're 30, 50 feet off of the track and you can still feel the heat coming off of his jet as he goes down the track. It's something definitely to experience.
Yeah, definitely some, I guess, high horsepower events, and I guess the Hot Rod Reunion as well, and that's sort of the...
Hot Rod Reunion is always a great one. We partner with ONDR, which is the Ontario Nostalgia Drag Racers, and that's our points race. That's our championship weekend. We also do a race for the rod, so IHRA has special trophies that they give out, one of which is called the Rod Trophy. Every winner of the class on the Saturday race actually wins a Rod Trophy as well. It's about 3 feet tall, polished stainless aluminum. It's a stunning trophy, and guys should be battling out hard for that one.
Yeah, a trophy that I guess is taller than some of the kids that'll come out and watch the race.
It's almost there.
So, yeah, there's some other different notable events in Series 660, Sportsman Nationals, Family Fun Day, Mopar Day, some of those ones.
Yeah, there's always the little guys that we always have on there, and I say little, they're just staples on our schedule. So Drew Buckner throws a 660 Family Fun Day. This will be the second year he does that. That is more geared towards having a family weekend at the track. So we have some jet cars, wheel standers, and a cost-effective, trying to make sure that everyone can kind of come out and experience drag racing what it should be. Mopar Day is always a great one. You get guys from all over the place wanting to come in and run their Mopar down the track and see how fast they can go. Our point series are always great. Pro Street 519 has no prep races going on throughout the summer. Mud Bogs, the ELTA, Meisner Motorsports has actually expanded their race this year, so they're going from a one-day event to a two-day. So it'll be Saturday will be qualifying, Sunday will be eliminations. That'll be a great race as well. There's so much stuff actually going on there, it's hard to talk about it all. We've actually picked up events from last year to this year, so we've got a packed schedule, and we're looking forward to it.
Yeah, ELTA, Little Big Go, Dragway Rush, a lot of things that people can check out on that schedule.
Dragway Rush is a really interesting event as well. It's actually a combination between, well, we shouldn't say us, but it's a race put on by Chris, and he does one day at Cayuga, one day at Grand Bend, and one day at St. Thomas. And you have to drive from track to track with that same truck. It's called a drag and drive. It's really big down in the States. It's starting to come up big here in Ontario. Chris jumped on the bandwagon and started that one. I believe he's actually already sold out, and we're 6 months out from that event. So it's a big one. It's expanded from a 2-day event to a 3-day event this year.
Wow, so definitely a lot going on there. That's pretty unique to, have that car that you see on track and then you're driving it as well out on the streets.
Big time.
So that's something for sure. And the STT Points Series, 12 dates across 6 weekends, 6 points classes. What should people know about the regular racing here?
Yeah, so the regular racing is fantastic at St. Thomas. The best part about the points races is, yes, the racing is competitive. The racing is very high horsepower. But the party afterwards is almost as good as the racing. We have a really close-knit community of racers at St. Thomas. People enjoy coming to our track, one, because the prep is good, but two, because the people there are even better. People always say that St. Thomas is like a family, and we actually call it that. My favorite thing about our facility is the fact that most of the time you'll see the motorhomes pulling up, the doors fly open, the kids get out, pull their bikes out, and they're riding around the facility. It's kind of that old school mentality of family-friendly place where people can kind of just come and enjoy themselves and not have to worry about those outside influences.
Yeah, I guess like the people growing up around the racetrack for sure.
Exactly. In terms of that STT Points Series, we have 6 classes. We run our mod, our top, junior dragster, bike sled, sportsman, and the cool one that we started last year, it was our 650 index racing. So it's everyone dials 650, you have to run your number, and away you go. So there's none of that games. It's 650, run your number. That's gaining big traction. Index racing is big down south, and so we're trying to jump on that bandwagon and offer 650 as well.
And you were starting to mention before about the mud bog out back, the 40 acres in the outback for St. Thomas Dragway, off-road park. There's the 2 events, as you mentioned, the first one on Victoria Day long weekend. And the fun part is people can also rent it for corporate events. So to me, this sounds like when, the adult equivalent of you have a kid splashing around in a puddle at a park. You're having fun.
You're hitting the nail on the head with that one. So we like to call our off-road park a playground for big boys and girls toys. So we do 2 of them a year. We do one on May 2-4 weekend. I'll get about 100 to 200 of those guys that'll show up, and we just go out in front of the mud. And we do one in October, same sort of deal. But the corporate events is very cool. So I work with a concrete company. They rent out the whole facility. They turn half of the off-road park into kind of a gymnasium, jungle gym for the kids. Other half is where the trucks are running around. They actually bought 6 trucks for the 6 different divisions of their company, gave one to each of them, gave them a budget of $2,500 and said, have fun, make yourself the best mud truck that you can out of the $2,500 and your F-150 that you've got here. So I had 6 guys that were out ripping around there. Then they shut everything down. They take out a bunch of bricks, and they take out a bunch of gift cards, cash. They wrap those bricks and those gift cards together with cellophane. They throw it out into the middle of the mud, and they say, whoever gets it, there's your prize. So last year we had about 250 people running from outside the mud bog into the mud bog to try to find all this kind of cash or gift cards to Princess Auto and all that fun stuff. So it's a very different way to give back from your community, from your company, a very unique way to give back because we was able to do it for both his employees as well as his customers. So it was kind of a win-win for him.
Yeah, definitely a creative way of doing things, that's for sure. And where can people find out more about St. Thomas Dragway?
SttThomasDragway.ca. That is where you'll find out all the information as well as a link to the off-road park as well. All right? And if you call the track, it goes right directly to me or send me an email, jspriet@stthomasdragway.ca.
All right, sounds good. Jarrett Spriet, General Manager of St. Thomas Dragway. Thanks for speaking with me.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
I'm joined now by Korey Herman, General Manager of Bend Motorplex, to talk to people here about the drag strip. So I guess to begin with, there are a couple of major events on the calendar, IHRA Canadian Nationals, Thunder by the Beach as well. What should people know about those events?
Well, first off, the IHRA Canadian Nationals, this will be the 26th year that we've been running this event with us. As Jarrett was saying earlier, in regards to the Hellfire jet truck, on top of the top fuel nitro cars that we're going to have, 8 fuel cars, Russ and the Hellfires coming with the jet truck. We've got 4 funny cars coming up, jet funny cars, Dave Doffett and all those guys. I think Dave Doffett's also there, I think for Windsor weekend possibly. I don't think we've inked that deal quite yet, but yeah, we've got lots of stuff. I mean, it's our biggest event of the season. It's just an all-around fun event. We've got a really cool promo going right now with one of our main sponsors, a giveaway more or less, let's say. So we've got, a chance to win, 2 free tickets to the racetrack. You get a camper trailer with a generator for the weekend, golf carts. I mean, it's a one-stop deal. All you got to do is show up, come stop by the booth, fill out a ballot. It's a pretty good deal. Tri-Play Go, in association with the Power Garage, is putting that together with us, so we're happy about that deal.
Yeah, people want to check that one out for sure. There's some other different events, Two-Wheel Warrior Mega Motorcycle, Euro Classic, Windsor Weekend, which you were starting to mention there, Fall Fast, and the Ontario Team Finals. So sounds like a packed schedule. What should people know about those ones?
So the Two-Wheel Warrior event, this will be the second year that they've done this event. All motorcycle show weekend, road course running, drag strip running. They also have, for the asphalt sled guys, they've got sled stuff running as well they put in. Just overall good weekend. Windsor weekend, again, the largest community-sponsored event we've ran. I think I want to say like almost 30 years on the Windsor weekend deal. Chuck will probably tell me I'm wrong, but pretty close to it anyways. Decades, let's just say it that way. And then we have our championship points weekend. Thunder by the Beach is on Labor Day. Same thing. We've got a really cool thing happening this year in regards to, our national event and stuff like that is our Top Sportsman, Top Dragster series that we've got. Bears Performance, Top Sportsman, Top Dragster program presented by Strange Engineering. So 3 events there, May long weekend, August long weekend, and then we've teamed up with the Fast 16 group as well for the Labor Day weekend. And again, back to the national event stuff. Tomorrow afternoon, I don't know if you're involved in this or not, but there's a big announcement coming tomorrow afternoon.
Toronto Motorsports Park will lead that one in their segment.
Yep, yeah, it gets released tomorrow. We can't really say a whole lot, right? But the best part about it is it's going to work out really well, I think, for the Canadian racers. So let's hope to God that happens. So, and then we've also got our road course stuff as well, right? Our CSBK, Canadian Superbike Series. They're back again this year with us in Grand Bend on the road course. So, yeah, we've got lots of stuff happening.
Yeah, you touched upon it there, the road course. So it's more than just a drag strip at Grand Bend. And the thing that strikes me the most is that there are 5 different configurations of the track, depending on whether you want something more flowing or more technical. So what should people know about the road course?
Well, the road course itself, I mean, we've got 5 different configurations. I think our longest configuration is 2.8K or something like that, I think it is. But our road course literally runs like 7 days a week. So the advantage with our facility is we have the drag strip, plus we have the road course. Now, our road course obviously runs through our pit area, but that's why our schedules are set up the way they are, that we have that availability to, like I said, CSBK, SOAR Motorcycle Series. They run all of their events with us, so they're at our facility 5-6 times a year. They take over the whole place. So it's a really good deal. So we're, like I said, multiverse facility, kind of similar to TMP, right, or Cayuga, Toronto Motorsports Park.
Definitely, and it's good to diversify there. And you mentioned CSBK, July 10th to 12th for that, the super bikes, and they're a series that tours across the country, so that's got to be a pretty big event.
It is. They weren't with us last year. Last year they tried something new out west. They're back with us this year, so we're going to take it. They're always excited. It's a good group to work with. Everybody there they're great people to work with. Like simple, easy going. But yeah, I mean, like I said, anything with the road course, like I said, 1.4K to 2.8K, many different configurations. It's fast, it's loud, it's slow, it's everything. I mean, our Wednesday night lapping nights for cars, our bike lapping nights, everything. So, and like I said, we've got a good contingent of Canadian racers on the SOAR side of things and the CSBK race stuff. So, really good deal.
Yeah, it suits a bunch of different needs for sure. And as far as back on the drag strip, there's the points program, 10 dates across 5 weekends, 7 points classes. What should people know about the regular racing?
So our regular series, kind of similar to the St. Thomas stuff. We are IHRA again this year, which is a huge bonus. We're glad to be back with the guys at IHRA. And like Jarrett was saying earlier, it's the same group that we always worked with. But we run, like I said, our point series this year, 10 races over the season, 7 points classes, Mont Top, Sportsman, Bike Sled, Junior Dragster. We are going to try another class this year, kind of a promo class type deal for kids that are stepping out of Junior Dragster. It's called TCR, which is Teen Championship Racing. So what that does is that gives teenagers that aren't licensed yet a chance to drive a full-size vehicle and compete for a world championship with the rest of our other full-time classes. So same thing again, you win the championship at our place of your class, you automatically get a draw into Memphis at the World Finals to compete for an overall purse throughout the whole Summit Sportsman Series program with IHRA, $300,000 purse deal that they've put together for this whole series of stuff. So, it works out good, and our points run from May right to Labor Day. So,
yeah, lots for people to check out, and it gives that extra layer of, I guess, something for people to really be vying for each year, that chance to go to a big international event. So, yeah, that's definitely cool.
Yeah, it's very cool. Like, I mean, you talk to any racer that's been down to one of the World Finals, and it's like you roll in, they treat you like gold. Like, they do a racer dinner. You get tow money. It's an experience that you need to experience at least once in your life if you have the chance to do it. Even to go down and watch. We've had our racers that have gone down to support other racers that have been down there, and they were like, it's unbelievable. Like, it's a totally different, ball game than going to your local racetrack. You get to compete against everybody else all across North America, more or less, right? So it's a big stage.
Yeah, for sure, and definitely something like what we see with dirt and legend car racing as well.
Yeah, exactly. Same deal.
So, where can people learn more, find out more about Grand Bend Motorplex?
So, Grand Bend Motorplex Facebook page, obviously. Grand Bend Motorplex, our website. All the details are there. Stop over at the booth. We've got, you can't miss it, Grand Bend right there. See, there you go. There's a guy walking right there, Grand Bend. Doesn't say Motorplex on it, though, but hey, I've got shirts. We've got shirts over there. Stop by. But, no, you can swing by the booth. Like I said, we've got the ballot stuff going on as well this weekend. Look for the blue tents, IHRA. We're all together. Shannonville, St. Thomas, Track Tunes, Grand Bend Speedway. We're all over there.
Korey Herman, General Manager of Grand Bend Motorplex. Thanks for speaking with me.
Perfect. Thank you, sir. Much appreciated.
I'm joined now by a team here from Grand Bend Motorplex and St. Thomas Dragway. It's Chris, Paige, and Lauryn Roy here. So, we'll start off with Paige, who races in the Junior Dragster program, and then beside is Lauryn, who races in the Top Points program, and Chris, the father and the crew chief here for this family-run effort. So we'll start with all of you first. What is it like racing at these two tracks?
So racing at these two tracks, it's very, everyone's knowing each other. If you need help, everyone will come help you. And it's more like a family. It's not like everyone's just friends, everybody just talks. No, it's more like we are a family, and it's just family.
Yeah, racing at both tracks gives us an advantage because we develop relationships with the track staff as well as the actual racers. There's a few of us that do go back and forth, but overall it's a great family experience at both tracks, with St. Thomas obviously being a little bit smaller. It's a little bit more intimate versus Grand Bend, but Grand Bend's atmosphere also is pretty widespread, and everybody drops into each other's pits, and we've had on many occasions the girls have gone into a final race where money's on the line and they're broken, and that racer will stop in and say, we're not going up until you guys are ready, so take your time. They can't race with neither of us there, so that's the kind of relationships and respect is there at the tracks.
All right, so very much like a grassroots level sort of thing where it's like everyone knows everyone. So what's it like as far as the experience at each track? Because, well, drag strips, they seem to be a lot pretty similar. There's got to be some differences too. So what's it like? How would you compare those two tracks?
Well, at Grand Bend, it's a little bit of a quicker track, we find. To actually race, the tree is a little bit different. There's LED versus the incandescent bulbs that are in St. Thomas, so they have to adapt going back and forth to each track. Each one has a preference on which track that they prefer to race on at the surface, but we have equal preference for being at each individual site.
So, I guess as far as getting into the racing here, Lauryn, you started off in gymnastics, and then you made the switch here to drag racing. So to me, that seems like quite the big difference. So why did you get involved in drag racing?
Well, we were driving to get candles for my mom, and we saw a racetrack, and we were watching for a bit, and I saw these smaller cars. And I thought it was really, really cool. And then I saw a girl hop out of one of the cars, and I knew I wanted to do that because I'm an adrenaline junkie. So, yeah.
Yeah, it definitely seems like something where, your heart rate's probably going a bit faster than in gymnastics, but I'm sure there's got to be at least some similarities. They're both competitive sports. So how would you compare, what skills from gymnastics were you able to apply to drag racing?
I would say reaction time. For sure, because with gymnastics you have to follow a certain rhythm, and on the beam you have to follow a certain time or else you can get dinged off of the beam and you could get disqualified. So I would say reaction time definitely is something that I put into drag racing.
For Paige, you as well getting into drag racing, how did you get involved?
I was growing up slowly with my sister doing it. I grew up 1 year with her doing it. And then eventually I saw how much fun she was having and how she was so involved and how everyone was having so much fun. And I was like, hey, maybe I want to do that. So, and then Lauryn got a new car and I took her old car.
All right. So, I guess, and Lauryn moving up to the regular dragsters. So what was that difference like going up from junior dragster to now the full cars?
I would say the speed is a big difference. It's more independent, so a lot of it is I have to start the car by myself, and I would say it's more fun for me because of the burnouts and going much faster, which is one of my goals is to go as fast as I can.
So you were, I guess, looking forward to getting that step up.
Yeah.
Then I guess, so you sort of a fluke thing, as you mentioned there, for getting involved in drag racing with you guys all sort of passing by the track and moving to the St. Thomas area as well. So I guess from your perspective too, Paige, what was it like sort of first time you saw the drag strip, and what was your reaction?
So I've always been kind of like a cautious person. So whenever I first saw it, I was like, no, I'm not getting in one of those. But then I saw how much fun my sister was actually having. So then I was like, yeah, sure, I'll try it.
So for Chris, from the parents' perspective here, how does it feel to watch your daughters in racing?
I love it. It's been fantastic. My wife, on the other hand, closes her eyes. So it is. I love it, and it's good to see that competitive nature that they have, but also the sportsman side of it as well. They're completely different people. As Paige mentioned, she's more of a cautious and pragmatic person, where Lauryn is an adrenaline junkie and very, very, very competitive. It doesn't matter who she's racing. It could be even a bypass. She's going single, and she's always striving for that perfect light. So to watch them have that, but it also creates responsibility and a significant amount of maturity. I mean, you're driving cars, so you got to be responsible, but it demands that respect, or bad things can happen. And once you start to get complacent, we can generally tell. For example, Paige, if she's having an off day, I will talk to her and say, are you comfortable? Do you feel like you want to drive today? And she knows when she's having a down day, and she'll just say, no, I'm not good today, and it's probably not safe for me to drive. So, that's a tremendous amount of responsibility to put on herself, but at least she's able to admit it, and then she has a down day. Versus Lauryn would be, no, I can do anything. I'm going to drive through all that. And the faster I can go, it doesn't matter. I'm good. So, it's teaching them a lot. And, as they get their driver licenses, Lauryn's got hers, and as Paige is working towards, gives her that respect of the road as well.
Yeah, and so I guess, and even did you have any history in drag racing before? Sort of what you love most about this? How did you sort of get under the fold with your daughters here?
Actually, my parents used to drag race. My mom and my dad. They were both racing. I think it ended up my mom was a little bit better at it, so my dad maintained the car, and my mom actually did the racing. And then we just happened to see it as we went to go to Sparta Candles.
So why did you choose St. Thomas and Grand Bend compared to other tracks where you could go racing?
That's what we knew. And then actually, as we got the experience, we've made a lot of friends, really good friends through this sport, which is different than other sports, as you don't typically see the friendships that develop through racing. We've always been in competitive sports, and those relationships is what sold us. But just the track staff, they're incredible at both sites, incredible people. And then also for Shannonville with beating Chuck as well, got a great deal of respect for him as well.
And I guess finally for the three of you, what are you most looking forward to this season? I guess we'll do all three of you.
I'm most looking forward to going to Michigan for the bracket finals.
Hopefully a working motor, since we're working on it right now. So hopefully minimal breaks and being able to go through the season smoothly without any complications.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting back and having that family outside of the house at the racetrack. Once the racing's done, that's who else gets to spend their entire weekends with their kids? It's something you get to reflect on down the road.
All right, Paige, Lauryn, and Chris Roy, racers and team members here for at St. Thomas, Dragway, and Grand Bend Motorplex. Thank you for speaking with me, and good luck this season.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you so much.